Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? All right, so we're getting very close to the end of tax season 2024, unless you're on extension, of course. But April 15 is coming. Some of you may have already filed their tax returns. Some are very last minute tax filers, and filing last minute and you're not sure what to do, or you're coming, or you still don't know whether you owe or you have a refund or what is the case. All right, so from the experience I had filing a lot of tax returns this year, I want to remind everybody about the difference between just waiting till the year ends and file your tax returns and you hope that you wouldn't owe any money, and between planning ahead of time. Of course, we said that before, that after year end, there is very few things that you can do regarding the year that already ended. So when we file 2024 tax returns in 2025, we have very limited things to do. But what we have in our hands is what we can plan for. So 2025 is the year that requires planning. And if you owed so much money in 2024, you were surprised by a big bill, you didn't know why you had to pay so much, then you probably need to hear this presentation, because I want to talk to you about what does it mean to do tax planning. All right, so let me share my screen with you and dig in. And as you know, just to lighten things up, I like to always start with a joke, and I found this one to be very funny. All right, somebody complaining about the deductions, that they're not taking much deductions. The only deduction they have is really in the bank account. All right, so we have two kinds of taxpayers. We have the ultra aggressive taxpayer, this one that usually goes illegal, usually goes, okay, here are my expenses, here's my revenue. I didn't do that much. I'm not reporting my cash income, or I had these many expenses that are not even real. And they kind of gambling because they're kind of hoping that, okay, I don't think they're gonna come after me. I don't think I'll be subject to any audit, any of that. Like, so they're gambling on not being audited. And they're the ultra aggressive taxpayers, which are doing things illegal, are doing things that are not real, are not happening. And if there is an audit, you'll pay back everything with penalties and interest and all of that. All right. Another kind is the ultra conservative taxpayer, the one that panics just hearing the name of the IRS, getting a letter from the IRS. They don't know what to do. Okay, I don't want to upset the IRS. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And these are the ultra conservative taxpayers. But my role here is to give you an advice. What kind of taxpayer you should be? Should you be number one or should you be number two? You take a guess? Neither one. I don't want you to be either one. I don't want you to be the one going illegal, and I don't want you to be the one going so conservative that you miss out on opportunities that are on the table for you. At the end of the year, at the end of the day, this is your money. This is your own wealth, your own decision, your own life. And you can, and there are legal ways of you planning it the right way. So I don't want you to be other than a taxpayer that seeks every opportunity possible to make it legal and to save money on taxes. All right. How can you keep more money in your pocket? And that's the key answer is with a strategic tax planning and organization. Here's how. There are 6 prongs to strategic tax planning success. All right. First things first, and it's very simple. You're going to find that this is very, very simple. Number one, to get organized. When you have a business, you have to have bookkeeping. You have to have some way of keeping track of how much income you got and how much expenses. You need to stop mingling between your personal and your business. Don't say I don't have a business if you're a real estate agent, for example, and you do 2, 3 transactions a year, but you got a like 100K in 1099 or 60 or 40 or whatever number it is. Don't say I don't have a business if you have a 1099 job. Unless you're a W-2 employee, then you have a business. And once you have a business, you have to be organized. You have to keep things organized in a way that you don't want to miss out on things that, oh, I forgot that I spent this money. I forgot that I had to pay that X amount of money because our memory tends to forget. The only thing we would remember if it is so major, but the little things also add up. So getting organized is going to help you very, very much. You have to start with that. You have to get organized. You have to have a sort, like some way of bookkeeping. All right, and I don't care if you're using a software, if you're using an Excel sheet, if you're using a note, it doesn't matter as long as you're organized and you have the backup that you have. Now things with technology are way better, so you can snap your receipts and put it in an electronic format. You can do things in a way in an easier way than it used to. All right, so get organized. And of course, depending on the size of your business, we would suggest what kind of bookkeeping you have. So this is number one. Number two, review your past. Any client that comes to me asking, okay, I don't know why I had to pay so much last year. I don't know, like what to do this year to make it better. We have to review the past. That's why we always ask for the prior year tax returns. And we usually ask for 3 years of prior tax returns because you can go back 3 years to amend a tax return that had something wrong or that you missed the deduction on and all of that. So actually for 2021, the deadline to amend it is April 15, 2021. If you filed by if you filed your return by April 15, 2021, then the deadline is April 15, 2025 to amend your return. All right, so you can go back 3 years to amend it. So we go back, we check the past and see what was going wrong or what was happening or why did you have to pay too much? What were you missing? Maybe you're a new business and you didn't know much. So we have to review the past to start from here. Then we assess your current situation because, okay, the past is something, but the present is something else. It could be the same, it could be little changes, it could be like something major changed. So we have to check what's your current situation. When you come to me now, I'll ask you, okay, what happened in 2025 that's different from 2024? What are you expecting to happen? And we keep analyzing every quarter, especially at the end of the year. We keep checking, okay, what was happening? Did we make use of the strategies we talked about in the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year and so on? So we assess the current situation, we see where we started and where we are now. And from there, we understand your vision. Like what are your goals? What's your vision? Where do you want to go? Is your business some sort of like just a temporary thing or a long term? Are you expecting to have partners? Are you expecting to like pass it down to your kids? What's your vision? What are you trying to achieve on the business side, on the personal side, on the financial planning side? Like, what are you looking for and what do you want to get to eventually? And from there, we implement the right strategies. So there are tons of strategies out there, but not all of them would be the right fit for you. That's why it's a little scary when you look at some video on the tax return on the internet that says, okay, LLC is not the right thing for you. You need to switch to a corporation, or a corporation is not the right fit for you. You need to switch an LLC. And you go implement this on your own, not knowing if this applies to everything, if this applies to all situations. 99.9% of the time, no, it depends. It depends on your vision. It depends on your past. It depends on your current situation. It depends on what you're going, on what you want to do in the future. So it really all depends the type of structure that your entity has, the type of planning that you have. Not everything fits everyone, and you have to see what are the right strategies that only fit your situation. All right. So from here, you have to have a conversation. You have to talk to an expert that knows what to do and what will be the right thing to do to give you an advice that's tailored to your needs and not just a general advice that may not apply to your specific situation. All right, so I'm inviting you to join me for a free 30-minute consultation. Take a time on my calendar, talk to me about what's your vision, what you want to do, what's your plan, and how did it go for you in 2024? Was it too much of a bill that you had to pay, or was it good, or maybe we're in a fun position? Whatever the case is, let's work together to minimize your tax liability. All right. I thank you so much for your time and see you soon.